Was born on November 10, 1909 at Fort Mill, Corregidor Island, the Philippines, where his father Robert Arthur Sr., then a lieutenant in the United States Army, was stationed. His mother was Sarah Fee Arthur, formerly of New Orleans. Arthur's childhood was spent moving, as his father was transferred from army base to army base. Arthur and his younger brother John Arthur, born in 1914, were educated in the public schools of Hull, Massachusetts, and Arbor, Michigan, Leavenworth, Kansas, and Hampton, VA. While his father was stationed at Fort Monroe in Hampton Roads, Virginia, Arthur attended Hampton High School, where he was elected president of the senior class. Although he gained entrance to the West Point, Arthur decided against following his father into the military and instead enrolled at Williams and Mercy College in Williamsburg, Virginia in the fall of 1926. 2 years later, he transferred to the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, where Arthur had lived for some years when his father had been a professor of military science and tactics in the ROTC program there. Arthur graduated from the University of Michigan in 1930 with a BA in English with distinction. After working as an editor at the one of the Muncie publications, he returned to the University of Michigan, where he received his MA in journalism in 1932. He then moved to the New York City, where he lived in Greenwich Village in a work-up apartment. During this time, he began writing stories for publication in pulp magazines. Between his graduation from Michigan in 1930 and 1940, his stories were published in Onder Stories, Detective Fiction Weekly, Mystery, the Illustrated Detective Magazine, Street and Smith's Detective Story Magazine, Amazing Stories, The Shadow, Street and Smith Mystery Reader, Detective Tales, Thrilling Detective, Double Detective, Startling Stories, Colliers and the Phantom Detective, Argosy Weekly, Unknown Worlds, and Black Mask. In addition, during this time, Arthur worked as a writer and editor for Pulp Western, Fact Detective, and Screen magazines for Dell Publishing, and was associate editor of Photo Story, a picture magazine published by Fawcett Publication. More significantly, he conceived and edited Pocket Detective magazine for Street and Smith, the first pocket-sized all-fiction magazine, in which several of his stories were published. In February 1938, he was married for the first time to Susan Smith Cleveland, a radio soap opera actress, from whom he was divorced in 1940. In 1940, he met the woman who to become his second wife, Joanne Wigzig, in a class on a short story he took from Whit Burnett at Columbia University. Simultaneously, Arthur was involved in editing a series of anthologies for younger readers, Alfred Hitchcock's Haunted Houseful in 1961, Alfred Hitchcock's Ghostly Gallery 1962, Alfred Hitchcock's Monster Museum 1965, Alfred Hitchcock's Sinister Spies 1966, and Alfred Hitchcock's Spellbinders in Suspense 1967. He also edited under his own name Davy Jones' Haunted Locker 1965, Spies and More Spies 1967, and Thrillers and More Thrillers 1968. Collections of Arthur's own short stories were brought out by Random House as Ghosts and More Ghosts published in 196 and Mystery and More Mystery published in 1966. In 1964, Arthur also published the first of his series of mystery books for young readers, originally entitled The Alfred Hitchcock and the Three Investigators series. Later, the Hitchcock name was dropped before his death. Arthur wrote 10 three investigators' book: The Secret of Terror Castle, The Mystery of the Stuttering Parrot, The Mystery of the Whispering Mummy, The Mystery of the Green Ghost, The Mystery of the Vanishing Treasure, The Secret of Skeleton Island, The Mystery of the Fiery Eye, The Mystery of the Silver Spider, The Mystery of the Screaming Clock, The Mystery of the Talking Skull. After Arthur's death, the Three Investigators series was continued by other writers. And before the series was terminated at the United States in the early 1990s, there were a total of 43 books in the Three Investigators series proper and 11 books in spin-off series called Crime Busters. Arthur died in Philadelphia, PA on May 2, 1969.